you guys wanted to, how do you guys manage to come back like that?
I just think sticking together, honestly, and nice to get one early in the third and just kind of let the momentum roll, and we just kind of got rolling, and I didn't look back. So obviously, proud of the effort of the team to force it to overtime and down 5-0. But the first period obviously not great, and just a lot of not good things there, obviously. So we'd like to not have that, but up and down game, and just proud of the guys for fighting back.
What was said in the second intermission?
Not much. It was mostly just sticking together, going out there, taking it one shot at a time. Obviously, the clock's on me at that point, but you get one and get another, see what happens, and just kind of kept it rolling.
Did you have any flashbacks to 2020, considering the opponent and the 6-on-5 goals there at the end?
A little bit, honestly. As we were kind of creeping up, getting closer and closer, I think you get the second one, you get the third one, obviously, the wheels start churning, and, everybody's been there on the other side too, so you understand what the opponent's feeling, so you just try to continue to press and continue to try to generate the momentum and the chances, and, 6-on-5, you never know what's going to happen.
Did fatigue become a factor in the beginning of the game? Maybe some guys after flu and whatnot, that maybe it kind of led to a bit of a start here?
I don't know. I think just we got to be ready to play, and just a lot of the detail stuff wasn't really there in the first, and the second maybe wasn't as bad as the score portrayed, but all of their chances went in and none of ours did. So I just thought the second period intermission, nobody was sulking, nobody was down on each other. It was all encouragement, trying to go out there and just play hockey, and this is our building. Being embarrassed for the first two periods, just go out there and put in a solid effort.
You have to be proud of your goaltender that you stuck with it in battle.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing about Sammy is he's a competitor, and he doesn't necessarily get rattled. I think he takes it and he uses it as motivation, and he had some big saves for us down the stretch there that kept it the way it was, and we just tried to go to work for him.
Not to finish, with the way the team persevered and got the point in that one?
We've been saying it all year, this team's got no quit, and we got a lot of trust in our locker room. Also, like I've been saying, we don't want to be in these positions a lot, and but when we do get in them, we got trust in the ability for us to go out there and do what we do.
You haven't had a comeback this big this season, but you have had a lot of comebacks. Just you mentioned you drawn all those instances there when you're down 5-0.
What else is there to save it for? We wanted to make sure that that third period we were going to take positives. If we didn't come back into that game, at least into Saturday, and feel good about our game and feel good about that period, and we had a goal in mind to go out there and just try to put as many pucks on net, try to get guys around there, still make our plays, and we were able to do that. And when we did in the third, they went in.
Trouble tonight start with the breakout, did you think? You seemed to pick off a few of them.
Yeah, they were doing a good job of just trying to read our plays, picked off a couple of them, obviously, so kudos for them for just reading the play and making it happen. That's just sometimes you rush a play or something like that, and those things happen. So I thought we got better throughout the game, but obviously their skilled players made plays when they did turn it over.
Did you have any flashbacks to 2020 in the bubble, considering it's Columbus and the 6-on-5 goals just kept coming?
No, I was too focused on just trying to get our team back and get it in a position to go into overtime or something like that. So definitely did not go back 3 years into my mind in those moments.
Why do you think this team is so dangerous 6-on-5 though? You guys have done this a few times.
I don't know. We're committed to, our structure. We're committed to getting people the puck, trying to get pucks around the net and trying to just outnumber people around the net. We've done a good job of it. We got confidence in that group every time it gets out there, and regardless of the time left on the clock, we're trying to do something that gets us back in the game. And like I just said, we have confidence in that group every time it happens.
I guess you're kind of proud of the way the team stuck with it and persevered from a tough spot.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't going our way the first couple periods, so to get a point out of that, those are the points at the end of the year you kind of look back at.
What would you say the reason for the slow start was tonight?
Honestly, we actually started the game pretty well. I mean, if you want to talk about the first 5 minutes of the game, but had a bit of a lull in the middle part of the first period, and it was one of those nights fighting a little bit, and like I said, we kind of regrouped in the third and gave it our best to get a point, and that's what we did.
Offense from defense is always important. How did it feel for you to get a goal tonight?
Yeah, I feel like it's been kind of coming closer for me the last few games, so I was happy to pot one for us there.
Is this from when Connor Timmins ran into?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many stitches did you?
Just a couple.
Okay.
The team stuck with it the third then came back.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had chances throughout the game to score. We played a little sloppy defensively and gave them some chances, so I mean, that's what let them take the lead. But yeah, I mean, we got to be happy that we battled back and scored 5 in the third.
Why do you think you guys were kind of so slow to get going there in the first goal?
I mean, I still think we had chances to score and stuff, so I don't really know if you were like that slow, to be honest. But maybe at some stints throughout the game, I think maybe we gave up too many dangerous chances.
What's said in the room after 2 periods of play?
Yeah, we just got to finish the game, compete, and I mean, we know we can score 5, so it was the thought process going out for the third.
What do you think makes this team so dangerous 6-on-5? Like, you've done this before with goalie pull.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it times before. I think we're just confident as a group and know that we can score in those situations.
Hi, Sheldon. Have you ever had a team come back from 5 down in the third that you can remember?
I don't know.
Doubtful.
What do you make of your team's ability to bounce back?
We've been a resilient group all season. I mean, it's a credit to the guys. We asked them to work in the third period, not go away, give our fans something to feel good about in the third period, and wanted ourselves to be proud of what we put forth in the third period. We just talked, we didn't talk about coming back in the game or anything like that. We talked about competing. We talked about stopping the bleeding defensively and working our way back through. The goal wasn't to come back for me. The goal for us, the goal that I set for the group was to try to get to 20 shots in the period. So with that, I was hoping to encourage the guys to attack the net, shoot the puck. But, none of that happens if they don't decide that it's important to them and they're going to work for it. So obviously I was really happy with that. Scored, I think it was the first shift, if I remember correctly. And looking back on it, I mean, we started the game in the first 5 minutes. I thought we started really well. The first 5 minutes of the first period, I thought we started really well. In the first 5 minutes of the second period, maybe longer than that. Probably could have scored early in that second period. We had some really good chances when it's still 2-0. And puck didn't fall for us. And then, it's not falling for us. And then our hole gets bigger, obviously. So everything gets magnified from there. But obviously love the way the guys stayed with it and come back. And we've been talking about how we've been a hard team to beat. You're talking about the regulation wins and all that, but the lack of regulation losses are a thing too, and that's a credit to the team in that sense where they've stayed with it. But, obviously a lot of what went on here tonight is not acceptable. But, we remained positive throughout, just knowing that a lot of ways it wasn't really our night. But the guys went out and at least gave it a valiant effort towards making it our night and get a very important point out of it.
As they build a 5-0 lead, is that a combination of Samsonov and some defensive zone mistakes, or how do you see that?
Well, the 2-0 lead to start with is, in the first period, both those goals go in. When in the first goal, we had the puck on our stick in our zone multiple times and didn't make a play to get it out, turned it over, you didn't get a chance to defend. When it's on your stick, you're trying to break out, and then all of a sudden they're shooting it from the slot. And then the second goal, similar thing. We win a face-off. Puck goes from our stick to their stick, and before you have a chance to get back into structure, it's shot and it's tipped and it's in. I quite honestly, as the lead bill, I sort of stopped watching and going back and dwelling on exactly what happened from there, other than to say, for us defensively, for much of the night, we didn't defend the neutral zone well enough. Our gap control wasn't great. And they got lots of skill. I mean, you talked about it. I mean, at 5-on-5, they're in the top 10 of the league in 5-on-5 scoring. That's one thing they could do is make plays and score. And I thought that when they had the puck tonight, they did make some plays with it, and they made us pay for it. And like I said, we couldn't get one to fall at the start of that second period, and then their lead started growing. And now it's a tough game to play and get through. But obviously the second intermission helped us, and I didn't feel like there was much to gain in going in and being overly negative or hard on the guys. We've been going well as a team, and it wasn't our night. But like I said, we tried to focus on giving our fans something to feel good about in the third.
How tempted were you to make a change in that?
Yeah, very. We in the moment in the second period, we talked. I thought we could just get through the second and talk about it, which we did. Curtis felt strongly that Sammy should stay in and fight and battle with the team. And obviously I'm glad that was his advice, and I'm glad that's the decision that we made, because I like the fact that Sammy was a part of that comeback, and I like the fact that he made some saves for us early in that third too, to kind of make sure that their team didn't get any life back. So, that one works out.
Any word on Reeves or?
Yeah, he's going to be out for a while, but the full diagnosis will have to wait.
Your team plays as well as it did in the third period. Do you ever wonder where is that game elsewhere, either earlier in this game or other points in the season?
Like I said, you guys can go back, and if you got some extra time, you can watch the first 5-6 minutes of the first period. You can watch the first 5-6 minutes of the second period. Like, we had our game at different times. We just kind of lost our way. I thought we had, like I said, we had the puck on our stick three times, maybe 4 times before the first goal, and we failed to make a play on it. And then that was sort of became the issue the rest of the period. We couldn't break out. Like, couldn't get out of our zone. It's a real hard game to play if you can't get your feet moving or can't make a play coming out of your end. And like I said, and now you're giving them the puck, and they have great skill. Like, that's a young team that moves the puck extremely well, lots of speed and confidence with the puck, and that's sort of the way that it goes. I thought there were pockets in the game. We had a lot of what you saw in the third. We had that at times in the first and second. But like I said, and when it doesn't fall for us early in that second, and then the lead starts to grow, well, now it's a tough game to play. Like, if you're a player, it's a tough game to get through that. But again, I think that's all the more reason why it's a credit to the group to just, regroup in the second, go out and give it what you got, and it turned out to be a fun night, and we had more than enough looks to get the second point. But it's when you gamble a little bit like we did in regulation, you risk giving up that point. And obviously Columbus deserves 2 points here tonight. So us losing the second point is probably an appropriate result based on the way that the game went. But again, love the fight and the spirit of our group coming through that third period.
Your team is just so dangerous 6-on-5. Is it just the talent you're throwing out there, or do you see something else to that? Why you've had so much success there?
Well, I think it's 2 things. I think it's, I guess 3 things. It's the talent, of course. Like, the guy's got to be able to shoot in the net. We've talked about this throughout preseason and early in the season. Guy Boucher's come in with a good plan that the guys have bought into, and they've had success along the way. So they just continue to adhere to it, and the pucks are falling. But it gives us belief. I mean, when we get to 5-3, when we get to 5-3 there, when McCabe fires that in, like, there's a lot of chatter on the bench that we're going to be okay here. We have a significant chance. Now, you don't know. You're going to pull the goalie. They ice the puck a couple times. Maybe it goes in the net, and it leaves, and it's all for nothing. Or it goes in, and you leave with nothing. But we have great confidence in it. But I wish we used it a lot less.